Well, thank you. Good evening. Give Katme a great round of applause for the great work that she does. I thank you. And all the leadership of ADC. And it's great to be with my old friend Ralph Nader and Mary Rose Okar, two great fighters for the principles of helping people. Give them another great round of applause. And I'm glad to know that the Consul General from Egypt is here, because we're about to announce direct flights from Egypt to Dulles International Airport. So I'm very excited about that. Folks, I wanted to be here. I just drove up from Richmond, and I'm going to go right back after this, but I did not want to miss tonight's event. First of all, to say thank you to the Arab American community for your tremendous support, not only the Democrats, but as Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, to Virginia and the great work that you have all done. Let me just say, first of all, give yourselves a great round of applause. And I don't say Arab Americans because everybody in this room, you're Americans, and let's be clear about it. And the divisive attacks that have gone on this year is the other reason why I wanted to be here tonight. We have had a very tough year in the Arab American community in the United States of America. The divisive attacks that have gone on, the language that has been used, there is no place for it in this great country of ours. I was at the Adams Center just last week in Northern Virginia, and I met with parents who came up to me and talked about their children who had insults hurled at them, parents who had had death threats. There is no place in this great country for that kind of behavior. So I wanted to be here tonight to tell you, as Governor of the great Commonwealth of Virginia, and think of it, Patrick Henry, our first governor, Thomas Jefferson, our second governor, and now Terry McAuliffe. Hey, you kidding me? Is this not a great nation that we live in today? But I just want to show that I have strived in Virginia to make sure that we are open and welcoming. As you know, Executive Order number 1, the first thing I did within 5 minutes of taking office was a non-discrimination executive order based upon no matter whom you love, what your religion, there will be no discrimination in Virginia. I am also proud that I now have more Arab American Muslims in my government than any government in the history of the Commonwealth of Virginia at every level of our government. And back when I was chairman of the Democratic National Committee, for the first time, the Arab American community actually had their first caucus, because I recognized the Arab American community because we didn't let them in to be full partners of the DNC. So I changed all that and brought the Arab American community in, and we had our first caucus there. And these are the issues that I fight every single day. How I do it as governor in my personal life, I'm proud to say that Dorothy and I have 5 lovely children. My 2 oldest have actually spent their summers working in Nablus, Palestine. So that they could truly understand tomorrow's youth organization, to work with women and children. And they had a lot of options to do, but they wanted to do that, and my remaining children, I will believe, will also do that as well, because it's important that we understand what is going on globally. I'm not here to talk politics to you tonight, folks. That's not my role as governor tonight. My role here is to tell you that we love the Arab American community. We want every Arab American in the Commonwealth of Virginia to be successful. I will not tolerate any discriminatory tactics at all. A parent asked me the other day about a teacher who had allowed some discriminatory actions to go on. I said, I want that teacher's name. I will fire that teacher because I don't want him working in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I have zero tolerance. But that's how you build a successful, and I tell folks all the time, that's how you build a successful state. Open and welcoming to everyone. When I became governor, we had some, as you know, some very discriminatory legislation that had passed, anti-women, anti-LGBT. You can't bring business into your state with those kind of tactics, so we've changed all that. We're open and welcoming to everybody. I serve as the chairman of the National Governors Association, and I was somewhat upset, disturbed about some of my fellow governors when the issue about more refugees coming in to the United States of America. One governor after the rest, all Republican, said no refugees in my state. I won't allow that. Well, first of all, folks, that was a false statement, because a governor has zero say about what refugees come into your state. It is a federal issue. So there was political grandstanding going on. I have said I will welcome all the refugees that will come in. But even if I didn't, which I don't, but even if I didn't, I would have zero say in it. I'm tired of the political grandstanding that goes on this issue. We are a nation of immigrants. Let us never forget it. My forefathers all came from Ireland. Let's hear it for Ireland. And I think about Mr. Kahn from Charlottesville, Virginia, when he and his wife were viciously attacked by a certain presidential candidate. Their son died fighting for this great nation. He was in uniform, and he actually saved his fellow soldiers by his actions. That is something to be commended and something the community should be proud of. And I can tell you this, as the father of a second lieutenant of the United States Marine Corps, like every parent who has a son or daughter that puts that uniform on, you worry every single day about what may happen to your child and where they are somewhere in this globe protecting us. And when that Kahn family stood up at that convention and gave that heartfelt talk, it made me proud to be an American, and I salute the Kahn family. And what I think I've been successful in Virginia is convincing folks, but I've torn down all those walls they had up. We've been open and welcoming to everybody. And what's happened in Virginia? I know we have, how many folks here from Virginia? Let's hear it. Let me tell you, you folks from Maryland, D.C., quit paying those high taxes. Come on over to Virginia. We need you. But look what's happened in Virginia since we've done that 2.5 years ago. When I became governor, I inherited one of the largest deficits in the history of our Commonwealth. We got to work. We made open and welcoming. We got rid of all this horrible discriminatory things that we'd had and the laws that had been passed. And I just announced the other day that when our unemployment rate hit 3.9, it was 5.4 when I took office. That's the steepest decline in 32 years. And I'm able to stand there and say that Virginia now has the lowest unemployment rate of any major state in the United States of America. Only 4 states created jobs in August. I was one of the 4. 166,000 new jobs. We brought $13.8 billion new capital back. Why? We respect everybody. We take the walls down. You want to come to Virginia? We want you in Virginia. We want your children to get a quality education. I just put $1 billion into education, the most we'd ever done in the history of the Commonwealth, because every child deserves to have a great education in our state. And I also want to commend my wife, Dorothy. When I got elected, we had 300,000 children going to school every day without access to a breakfast. Think of that. So many children in poverty. They are hungry to learn. That's how they're going to get out of the situation and be able to build a better life. They're hungry to learn, but they can't learn because they're just plain hungry. And we just announced last week, through the efforts of my wife, 5 million more breakfasts served to needy children in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So we're feeding our children, we're educating them, and we're teaching them about being open and welcome to everyone. So I want to thank you for giving me this award tonight. It's an honor to be with you here. And I want you to know, as chairman of the National Governors, as chairman of the great Commonwealth of Virginia, the governor, we're going to continue to fight for you. We're going to continue to make Virginia open and welcoming to everybody. But the last thing I'd say is just say thank you. The contributions of the Arab American community to the United States of America are second to none. And you should all be very proud, and you want to know that you have a partner in making sure we take it to the next level. Have a great evening, and honor to be here with you this evening. Thank you very much.